Okay, good morning class. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Excellent. Today, we are going to learn the difference between qualitative data and quantitative data. See, quantitative data is the type of data that deals with numbers, measurements, right? Things that you might be able to find by holding up a meter stick and measuring something, or maybe measuring its temperature with a thermometer. Qualitative measurements, on the other hand, are things like that describe the qualities that something has. Just describe it in a less precise, not measured way, just something like any adjective that you think when you see it, right? Okay, so to help us in this lesson, I brought along the Batman Pez dispenser. I'm going to pass this around the class, and we're all going to come up with some way to describe it to someone who hasn't seen it before. And then we're going to sort those descriptions into the qualitative pile and the quantitative pile. So I'm going to start right away. I'm going to say that the Batman Pez dispenser is maybe 6 inches tall, maybe. Okay? And I'm going to pass it to Carter, and Carter's going to tell me what he thinks. What do you think? Any description, adjective, something about the Batman Pez dispenser?
Brooding.
Okay, excellent. Batman Pez dispenser is brooding. That is a dollar word. Boris, what do you think about the Batman Pez dispenser?
It's pretty heavy.
Okay, it's really heavy. Yeah, excellent. We'll add heavy to the pile. And actually, I weighed the Batman Pez dispenser this morning. I cheated. I used one of the scales, right? And I can tell you that it is exactly 50 grams, right? So I'll add that to the pile as well. Can I borrow it again? And I'm just going to add one more thing. I'm going to say the Batman Pez dispenser is scary, right? It's, it's a little bit frightening to look at. Okay, so now we've got our pile of descriptions, and we're going to sort them. Right? The best way to sort data into quantitative and qualitative types is to look for numbers and units, right? All quantitative data has to have both a number and a unit. So if you see this 6 inches, we're going to look at that and think, okay, we see our 6, that's a number. We see our inches, that's our unit. So that's got to be quantitative data, right? We'll put that over here. Then we look at brooding. Brooding is an adjective, right? It doesn't have a number, it doesn't have units. So that's got to be qualitative. All right, now it's you guys' turn. Let's see. What do we think about heavy? What are we thinking that might be? Quantitative, qualitative. Carter?
Well, heavy describes weight, and weight
Okay.
is described in numbers, so I'm going to say quantitative.
Okay, that's actually a good point, right? We definitely can measure something's weight. We can find out in grams or kilograms or whatever how much it weighs. So maybe you would think it's quantitative. But heavy itself doesn't have a number or a unit. Now, what if I said 50 grams, the next one on the list? Do you think that's quantitative? Or that's definitely quantitative, right? That's got the number, 50, unit grams, that's going over here. But what about heavy? Heavy doesn't have a number or a unit. That's not as precise. That's not a measurement. That's just something that you got from lifting it up, right? So that's actually got to be qualitative. You see? It's just an adjective. It's not a measurement. Scary, what do we think? Scary, Boris, what do you think scary is? Quantitative, qualitative?
Well, it doesn't have numbers, so it's probably qualitative.
There you go, excellent. We're going to put that over here in this pile, and that means we completely sorted our list into quantitative and qualitative descriptions, right? All right, next exercise in class, we're going to pass around some objects from my bag behind the desk and describe them with as many quantitative and qualitative descriptions as we can. Before that, though, we're going to memorize what we just learned with a cool cheer. All right? It's going to be a call and response cheer. I'm going to start it, and then you're going to say the second line, and then I'm going to say the third line, and you're going to say the fourth line. So let's just start with the first bit. All right? First bit is I'm going to say quantitative data, no matter what kind, and then you're going to reply, we'll find a number and a unit side by side. All right? Is that easy enough? And now we're going to do it. Quantitative data, no matter what kind.
We'll find a number and a unit side by side.
Excellent, good. Third line, I'm going to say, right, and you'll say the response. Third line will be, I'm going to say qualitative data is like low or high, right? And then you guys will say big or small or the color of the sky, all right? Let's try just that bit. I'm going to say qualitative data is like low or high, and then you'll say
Big or small, like the color of the sky.
excellent, great.